Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Joni Misiak. Today, I'd like to share a little story of what's happened. I was sharing a little bit about the stress that I was putting myself under for hosting my son's birthday party. And, it does take a village, and not everything goes as planned. I'm a big planner. I have ideas. I'm pretty good at executing them usually, but life happens. So, get comfortable, and I'm going to share a funny if you're not me story. No, I'm kidding. It was funny in general. Anyways, okay. So, because of things in life, my son hasn't had a birthday party with his friends. So, this year my husband and I decided to, have a decent sized party for our son. He has lots of friends. He's just, a lovable little guy, and everybody loves hanging out with him. So, we rented a bouncy castle in our backyard, and we're like, okay, let's invite siblings and parents and all that fun stuff. I even had we had an Octonauts theme because that was what my son wanted. And I had all these ideas for food, had all these really cool Octonaut theme foods and everything like that. Everything was going well. And actually, it was going really, really well. My husband and I have spent different years being up till 2 a.m, getting things ready for different parties, especially when we live near family and we'd have family over. So we'd stay up really late. We're more night people than morning people. So we get more done at night than we would in the morning. We'd be half asleep, trying to drink coffee. And anyways, so we were actually doing really well. Everything was done, I think, by 10 o'clock. For us, that was really good. And, we still went to bed a little later because we wanted to relax. But this time we weren't doing things for the party. The whole downstairs suite was clean and ready to go. Just had a couple decorations I needed to put up the next day. And I had everything under control. Fast forward to the morning. I set my alarm fairly late, actually. I'm like, okay, Alex and I, my husband, we got this. We have time. If, he starts the food prep and I do the decorations, the kids relax. It's been, it was a crazy week before. So they can just relax in the morning before the party. And then I'll help with the food prep and we'll have this. We had no problems. We gave ourselves, I think, 3 hours to get things ready. I'm like, I got this. Hour before people show up, I'll get ready to go. I had a beautiful outfit going and everything like that. Starfish diamond earrings, well, not real diamonds, but diamond earring looking things, sparkly. And I had it all figured out. Until my husband wasn't feeling good. The person that I was relying on to do half of the work. And he had a super duper migraine. He tried to work through it, and it was clear that it was not happening. So I was like, you might as well lay down. You can't really do much, so you might as well go get better. And here I am, when I finally realized I was doing it myself, took some deep breaths. My husband managed to actually call a friend while I was working on in the kitchen and getting food ready to have her come. She was in the middle of something, but she came as soon as she could. And, I was I put food aside and I did the party things. Not going to lie, was not ready, not in my outfit by the time parents showed up. My big one was, doesn't matter about the food. I did some decorations so I could be ready to greet families and things like that. But here's the really cool part. And something that way back I would never have accepted. And I'm talking about people's help. So we actually had quite a few parents around, and every single one of them was amazing. They offered to help. I had a nice team of people helping up in our upstairs kitchen, prepping food. And then I had a really good friend of mine down below to make sure everything was running down there. And that kitchen was getting set up because that's where we were serving the food. And I was just overwhelmed by how amazing everybody was. Supportive, caring, and kind, and loving. And I couldn't have done that without them. There's no way. As it was, I was still running around, making sure, things were running smoothly. The kids, actually the parents had the kids under control for the most part. But my daughter was a little overwhelmed because it was the first time we had this many people in this house since we've moved. Actually, I don't think we ever had that many kids in our house ever in our lives. We had a good chunk of, we had a good, we had a good crew in our house and in our backyard. And thankfully, the weather held out. When I woke up that morning, it was raining, and I really thought the bouncy castle was not happening either. They were calling for rain all day. And just before, people were showing up, the bouncy castle group came, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. I was starting to work on plan B, which was like all these other games and stuff that I just didn't have time to organize. I did have them, and yeah. Anyways, so I was like, what are we going to do if it rains? So we had a plan B, but man, I was not ready for plan B. So I'm grateful that plan A worked. And it was all good because the bouncy castle gave the kids a lot of, gave them something to do. Unfortunately, the games I did plan didn't happen because I was running up and down and different things like that. And my daughter was very upset because people were playing with toys in their playroom because, well, that's where the party was downstairs in their playroom and out in the backyard and things like that. So I was like pulled in all different directions, but I was shown that it does take a village. We're not meant to go through life alone. We're not meant to, struggle on our own. I had like such an amazing crew of people. I had a friend that she was doing dishes, and I was like, oh my goodness, you don't have to be, I could do these later. But she was doing them without being asked to. And years ago, even when my kids were like newborn, I don't know if I would have accepted the help. But the moment that people were offering this time, I'm like, yes. I actually had to turn down people. I'm like, oh no, it's okay. Like we have a good crew of people up in the kitchen. You can, watch the kids down here. I had such a group of amazing parents that I had to turn people down. However, years ago, if this would have happened, I would have suffered inside. Like I was still going through some stuff, but like it was flowing quite a bit because I accepted people's help. It can be hard to accept other people's help. One, I knew I needed it. Two, I wanted to also enjoy our son's birthday. And I was actually on the bouncy castle. With all the help, I was able to sneak away. Okay, one of the kids actually dragged me away to go on the bouncy castle. And a friend of mine was on there. So there was a lot of work to be done. And, I was the only host other than like I had some really awesome parents. But my husband wasn't available. So but I still was able to have fun. I was able to have fun because I allowed other people to help me. I also let go of all the expectations for my day where I thought, oh, my husband's really great at making sure the food's replenished, making sure like everything kind of flows. And I'm really good at socializing and playing the host and being with the kids and all that fun stuff. But I had to do it all other than with all the awesome parents. I have to say, like, I hosted by myself, but I didn't do it by myself. I had so much help. So with letting people help, though, I also had fun. And then, like I said, I let go of my expectations from the party. I had to just let it all go and go with the flow. The Jody that happened like years ago would not have been able to go with the flow. I've been so frustrated, and I wouldn't have been able to go from like, oh my goodness, my husband is not able to be here to help. And I might have panicked, but instead I switched gears and was like, okay, this is me. I got this. Like I had the kids and I had them watching TV until like I needed their help. And then I'm like, hey kids, make sure you're dressed, make sure you're ready to go. And then I'm going to need your help. So like it was getting the kids involved, allowing the kids to watch TV so I could just breathe and get the food. I had most of the food done. It was just the hot stuff that needed to be cooked in the oven and boiled. So I had most of it done, but it was like the other stuff. And luckily I had such an amazing team of people. So I'm here today. If you feel like you're struggling or like you just can't do it all, here's a loving reminder. You don't have to do it all. You don't need to struggle and like feel like you have so much to do. There are loving, amazing people out there for all areas. So maybe you need somebody to talk to. In all honesty, I'm going to share a little fun fact about that day. I was pretty emotional / physically burnt out. If I had a watch that counted steps, I think I would have blown it up. Okay, maybe not. But we have a lot of stairs going from downstairs to upstairs. I originally was going to have everything ready downstairs so I didn't have to go up and down all the time. But I didn't get that far. So after the party was over, actually a friend of mine stayed and helped clean up a little bit more. And then she could tell that I just needed some breathing room, and she probably needed some relaxing time and things too. So they left, and then I kept cleaning. I thought I was going to collapse and just like relax and watch some TV with the kids. But I wanted to make sure the food got put away and just make sure everything was tidied up enough, and so I could close up the downstairs. And then I actually went over to my friend's house. I'm like, I just need somebody to talk to. So after a busy day, I just sat down and we just chatted. Nothing like crazy or anything, no venting or anything, but just like, I just was, just talking, some adult time before I went back and parented on my own and things like that. So it was lovely. And then the next day I went out for a girls' night. So sometimes life throws you curveballs and you just got to roll with it, breathe through it. Actually, I did a lot of breathing. Thank goodness I know about breathing in the kitchen when I was getting ready, and I realized I was doing it on my own. So much breathing. I'm like, okay. So many awesome parents were reminding me, like, you got this. Like, so much love in the room. It was incredible because it does take a village. And I did mention that once or twice that day too. It takes a village. A lot of people I know don't have family on the coast here. They might be in BC, and some of them are out of province like ours. So we come together and we support one another, and it was very beautiful to watch and be a part of. So it was a really incredible experience to be part of a village, a part of loving, amazing people that, they had, like, they're not blood related, they have no obligations, but they were caring and loving and just so incredible. And it just warms my heart to be a part of something that amazing. So I wanted to share this story with you today because for so long, I wouldn't ask for help. And I know how hard it can be to do that. But now I'm like, I was cool with it. I was like, yeah, of course you can help me. I would love that. Like, it was such a different thing. But before I would have had like this, oh no, I'm not doing it all by myself. I don't have this together. In fact, asking for help, I felt so much more put together. When the kids were going crazy and like there was a kid climbing in our one window in the kitchen where it was not the best, safest place to be above the stove, I just calmly, lovingly asked her to get down. Like, I was in a calm, centered place. If I was doing it all by myself, I don't think I would have been calm, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been centered. And I wouldn't have had fun at all. No bouncy castle jumping for me. It was so awesome. Now, I'm not going to lie, a lot of the stresses, like I did feel some stress that I had to work through later. But the day of, I was on, and it was awesome. And then obviously I had to work through a few things of the stress and like allow myself to let go of my expectations from the party and just whatever happened kind of thing, and just let it on go. And those are all things we have to work through on our own. But asking for help, or even, it wasn't even asking, I didn't ask at all. Allowing people to help me was such a beautiful thing. Because they feel good, you feel good, and it's this all awesome, loving energy. And it was just so much fun. And I even got to play hostess. I got to chat with parents. Some of them I've never met before. I only saw them on the playground in passing. So it's really good to have some conversations with these parents and get to know them better. And it was just such a beautiful experience. So allow love in. Allow yourself to be supported. Allow that shoulder to be there when you need to listen to, and just allow life to flow with you instead of against you. because things happen, people get sick, the weather sometimes doesn't work out. And, life just is a fun adventure. And the more we allow it to go, like we allow ourselves to flow with it instead of against it and have our own ideas of what we have to do ourselves or what has to happen or expectations, the more fun we can have through life. There's some times where I feel like sometimes we do too much on our to-do list and we're just doing. And I'm like, wait, guys, like we need to have fun. When my kids get all growly and stuff, I'm like, guys, life is meant to be enjoyed, to have fun. When we're not having fun, we're missing the idea of what life is really meant to be. Having fun, enjoying it with other people around us, and just allowing ourselves to be ourselves. Like I was au naturel, no makeup, my hair, like I was a host of a party and I was in my yoga pants and a sweatshirt because I didn't have a chance to change. And later on, I did sneak away when everybody's eating to go change. But, you just got to embrace you and do you and have a good time. And I hope this helps. Or you just got a good laugh out of it. I'm not sure. However, it does take a village and things don't always go as planned. They can be better. And when we don't always plan or we let life flow, amazing, amazing things could happen. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.